Hey YouTube, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'll be showing you guys how to make a deep house song that sounds more or less the same as Black Coffee and Capo sounds. So in this video I'll be showing you how to do that by using few plugins, stock plugins, and maybe just a few VSTs that are not found on FL Studio, but I'm sure you guys can replace with any sounds that you might like, and also using less percussion. So the basic idea behind this video will be to show you guys that you don't really need a lot of packs or plugins to make a very nice tune. So just pay attention to the techniques that I'll be showing you guys so that you can apply them and come up with very nice hits from using less packs and plugins. So without any further ado, let's get into the business. So here's my channel rack. I'm gonna lower down the BPM to 118, 117, that's fine. And then for the packs, I'm gonna be using the IM Deep House sample kit. You guys can follow the link under the description to download this if you don't have. And then I'm gonna load 2 kicks. Let's load kick 3 and maybe kick 6. Lower down the volume. And then make this, I don't know how many bars this is. I keep on forgetting how to count music. I need to revise on that. Fill each 4 steps. And then for this kick, I'm gonna make a double kick here and there. And then next off, I'm gonna add, so for this packs I use cymbals as heads, but then I go to the closed cymbals. So I'm gonna go select a nice one. Let's take that one and fill each 4 steps, and then select a clap, maybe 2 claps. Alright, so far so good. I'm gonna take my claps both to 1 track on the mixer, and then select a snare on top of that. Alright, so this will be all for my drum kit. I'm not gonna be using a lot of sounds. Let me just add a head to make it more groovy. Where can I find an S head? Okay, let's use that one, and then let's try to keep our levels down. Alright, now let's just play this and hear how it sounds. Okay, that's off. I always use this knob to sort of cut the low ends of the last part of a kick. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, yeah, I always use this knob to make it sound different. And then for my head, I'm just gonna add some reverb. You guys can manually add a reverb by adding it on the slot, but then I already have my own presets loaded on my right hand side of the mixer, and you can go watch the video on how to do this by clicking on the link that pops up on the display. So that's just a reverb for some tone, to give the music some more tone. Let me lower down the volume for this one. And for the clap, I'm just gonna fill 2 steps. I'm not gonna do a lot for the clap. And then lower down the volume for this one. Do the same. Then I'll pan one to the right and pan one to the left so that you can try at least to hear them individually, though they are glued together. And then now I'm gonna use a snare, lower down the volume, and then for a snare I'll try to come up with a tune for it. Try to cut down the lows for that, add some reverb. Now for my heads, I'm just gonna fill each 4 steps, then shift this 2 steps to the right, then add a stereo shaper. I'm not sure if it's stereo shaper or stereo enhancer. Then pan this either left or right, but then do the opposite on the phase offset. This is just to give it some sort of pen. Oh, I think I'm doing this to the wrong track. So let me disable that. I thought I was applying it to the head. Stereo enhancer, pan it to either side. Now I'm gonna turn this knob to the left so that you can hear it both sides. And then maybe just add a reverb, cut down the lows. So that's my drum kit. So it's occupying tracks 1, 2, 5. So I'm just gonna exclude the kick and apply some processing to these ones. So excluding the kick, that's my drum kit. I'm gonna create track routing, create a submix, call it drum kit. So the reason why I'm doing this is I wanna process my drum kit all together. I'm gonna add a Maximus to glue everything. Go select a preset. Let's see how it sounds without the preset. Add a preset, punchy drums. Now it sounds very well processed, but it's a bit too high now. Like, let me just lower it down a bit. So now I'm gonna start off adding sounds. Let's try have a GMS. Let's go to pads, pad 1 for simplicity, and then come up with a chord progression, and then work out sticking to that scale that we are on. So let's try to find a very nice root note. Okay, that should be fine. Actually, let me cut this, paste pattern 1 here, and then create pattern 2 and make it 4 bars long. So I'm gonna paste this here and work on this pattern 2 of mine and switch to song mode. Now let's make a different chord. work on this. Let's send it to the track, to the mixer, and then make some side chaining to it. If you haven't watched my video on side chaining, just click the link on the display. I'm gonna use the cross beat for this because it's not complicated. Then I'll just alter these waveforms here. Now I'm gonna move on to the next sound. Now I'm gonna add some leads from GMS. Let's add some leads. Decrease the volume. Now I'm just gonna paste short notes on these highlighted ones. Okay, let me take that there. Duplicate this. Make sure that you are playing on scale. So as you can notice, it sounded off because these notes are off key. Now I just have to shift them up. Something is a bit off here. I don't know what it is. So now we're gonna add a log drum from Fruity DX10, which is a simple bass line that I try use because like it's just there on FL Studio, everyone can use it, and it sounds very awesome. So what I do with my log drum is I try playing with these high notes first, and then I'll transpose it down later so that it sounds more low and has that bass feel in it. So now let's try come up with notes that we can plug in here for the bass line. Let's duplicate that. Let's check that up there. Let's duplicate that. Now I think I've figured out my bass line very well. So after doing all of this, I'm gonna transpose it down by clicking, by holding Control and then arrow down on my keyboard. It's gonna transpose everything down. Now I'm gonna make my log drum more punchy by playing around with these knobs. Something from a gladiator, something that's like a drawn note. Yeah, this is the problem that I've been facing with FL20. It takes some time to load some external VSTs. So I'm gonna add actually, let's replace this with gravity. Okay, that sounds fine. Let's lower down the volume. I'm just gonna have some long single drone notes playing all along. Let's see how it sounds. Now that sounds fine. Now let's apply some side chaining as well. Let's apply some side chaining. The reason why I apply side chaining to my long drone notes is because I want the kick to come out and sound very audible, regardless of the many sounds that I have. Like the kick should always come out, you know. So this is gonna create room and cut off the sound, some frequencies, so that there's enough room for the kick. Now we're gonna proceed and add one more lead from GMS just to beef up the whole thing, you know. I don't know which sound to go for. I need something very, very sharp, something that's gonna be playing at the high ends. That sounds fine. So what I'm gonna do here is let me turn that off. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna plug in random nodes and have something that's gonna come and go. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but usually leads are just elements that sound very high and too short. They come and go. So I'm gonna press backspace on my keyboard, which is gonna allow me to shorten this to have it as short as possible. And then I'm gonna have to make sure I stick on this highlighted notes. It's very tedious to come up with a nice melody for this, but then once you get it, you're fine. I hope you guys are following. I'm not sure if everything is playing on the right step, but it sounds like it is. But now what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make 2 of this, then now play around with automations. Automate my pad to give that song that hype as it's playing, because you don't want like a constant hype. Like, you want to build up the hype, make it more interesting. And then I'm gonna automate. Let's automate the GMS2 as well. Delete that. That's actually the volume. Let's delete that. Actually should be automating the cutoff, because that's what gives a song much hype. Then I'm gonna do the same for the GMS2. let's do that. And then let's automate this one as well. Those are the automations. Now I'm gonna add some pressures. I don't know what you call them, breakers or pressures. Then I'm gonna add the reverb and the delay to it. This is just an EQ, a default EQ. Add another one to make it more interesting. Add something that's in reverse. Let's find something that's playing in reverse. Press backspace. And then let's load on the volume. Send it to track 9. So I hope you guys learned a lot from this video and you got a clue of how to make these commercial deep house songs without using a lot of plugins and a lot of packs. Because as you can see, like I only used I don't know how many packs from a drum kit and only like 5 VSTs to make up different sounds. So it's not about a lot of elements being used, it's about the technique and the sounds that you come up with them. So it's just a combination of a bass line, nice leads, synth, and a pad. That's all you need for a normal house song. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and stay tuned for more dope videos coming. Alright, cheers guys.